Imagine you're at home resting, when all of a sudden you get a call from a friend telling you that a dolphin is in a life or death situation and only you can rescue it. This is what Clifford Ray, at the time starting center for the Golden State Warriors, experienced on February 24, 1978. The story begins at Marine World Africa, USA, an animal theme park in Redwood City, California. The park was in possession of a dolphin named Dr. Spock, who would find himself in danger when a repairman accidentally dropped a large bolt into the dolphin's tank, who then proceeded to instinctually fetch it and then swallow it. The bolt made its way to the dolphin's stomach lining, where the sharp metal posed a threat to the dolphin's life. The initial plan of surgery was deemed too dangerous, so the only option from that point was to retrieve the bolt by hand. However, Dr. Spock was 12 feet long and no one at the park had arms long enough to reach the bolt. This is where Clifford Ray comes into the picture. Ray was at a hotel planning to fly to Washington, D.C. for a Warriors road game when he got the call from the theme park's vice president telling him that his long arms were needed to save a dolphin's life. A limo was sent to the hotel and Clifford was on his way. When he arrived at the park, he was greeted with crowds of reporters and journalists who had caught wind of the situation and Clifford's involvement. They moved past and arrived at the scene of what would soon become the most recounted story of a man with a decade-long basketball career and an NBA championship ring. Clifford was equipped with surgical jelly and gloves and would be instructed by a top veterinarian through the process. He entered his arm into the dolphin's mouth, moved past its first stomach, and arrived at the second stomach where the bolt was lodged. The process of removing the bolt would be risky, as the sharp point could easily tear into the dolphin's stomach if Clifford wasn't careful enough. But the pressure didn't get to him. He was able to work the sharp part of the bolt into the palm of his hand and essentially cement his legacy at that moment. Clifford Ray had become the NBA center who rescued a dolphin. The story spread everywhere. He was flooded with interview requests and earned the nickname Dr. Ray, a play on Julius Erving's nickname Dr. J, and a reference to the hands-on surgery he had just successfully completed. Today, Clifford Ray's legacy is more often associated with this rescue instead of anything basketball related. It would be easy for him to become angry at this, as his life's work had become overshadowed in the matter of just a few hours, but he instead chooses to wear it with pride and reflects fondly on his heroic actions that day. The bolt, once lodged deep into a dolphin, now lies gold-plated in his home.
All I can say is that I actually felt like a doctor or a veterinarian. He actually was very calm through the whole thing, and then later on when I went down to the park, I think he realized that I was trying to help him, because then whenever I would go to the park, he would always come up and acknowledge that I was there.